Welcome to this extremely haphazard video, which is going to involve me talking about how I'm packing for my upcoming cycle tour. Now, I was brought up cycle touring when I was a child. We would go on 2-week trips, cycling through France, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, those kinds of places. But then I didn't go for a really long time. And then I've been several times in France in the last few years. So I am getting to grips with it a bit more, but I still overpack every single time. And no, I do not make a list, which I can consult the following year and learn from previous mistakes. But this time I'm determined to not overpack. I'm going to get it right. It's going to be perfect. It also helps that this year we're going to Normandy rather than Brittany, and the Normandy route that I have created, it's a linear route from Saint-Malo to Ouistreham, and it is significantly less hilly than the past 2 cycle tours I have. The past 3 cycle tours I planned actually, 2 in Brittany, 1 here in Devon. So that's going to help with packing because obviously the bike isn't going to be being dragged up so many hills as before. So I've got that on my side as well. Super excitingly, I've just bought new panniers. Ta-da! Thanks for everyone who got involved in my poll a little while ago and suggested Ortliebs. I have used Ortliebs before. In fact, I've almost exclusively used them as an adult. As a child we had, I don't even know what they were, caramel maybe? I can't remember, but they were ancient even then. These ones are the same as I've used in my past 2 French cycle tours. They're just mine. I always borrowed my sister's before because she is a very generous woman, but I've decided to bite the bullet because I've got a bit more cycle pannier requirements this year, so I thought I'd buy my own. And they literally arrived this morning and I'm leaving tomorrow. So I'm quite last minute. The cycle tour was planned so far in advance, like months ago I planned this, booked all the campsites, planned the route, inspected the route, everything was glorious. If you want to know more about how I plan cycle tours, there are a couple of videos that I will put in the description about that. But when it comes to what I'm actually taking, I'm a very last minute person when it comes to that. So these are the main form of baggage I am taking, but I'm also going with my partner and he has a bob trailer, and that is a trailer that you pull behind the bike, obviously. So he obviously carries his share of our joint goods, such as the tent, which actually doesn't weigh very much, but also bigger things that are would be much harder for me to carry. So larger things like the washing up bowl, plates, things like that, they go in the trailer. Okay, so we're gonna pack 1 pannier right now together, and we're not gonna pack the other one because that's gonna be my clothes, and I haven't sorted that lot out yet, but I'm gonna pack really lightly. First things first is my trusty Mountain Equipment sleeping bag. Man, I love this thing. Can't take a look at this, so let's get it out. This is what is this? This is the Helium 250 women's small. Oh no, it's regular. Got it on sale a while ago. Can't remember how much it costs, but I love it. It's in this fetching aubergine colour. I've also got a silk liner that someone gave to me many years ago. Let's get stuffing. Ta-da! That is my sleeping bag. You can obviously get lighter ones. This is, I think it's 3 seasons, but it suits me fine. I do get quite cold in the night sometimes. And also in June, it's not always the warmest temperatures. This is amazing. I'm really not a new stuff kind of person when it comes to equipment. All the panniers that I used as a child were obviously my parents, and they were really old and battered, and I think they still use them. I'm pretty sure my dad still uses the same panniers we used in the 90s. And then obviously I've been borrowing my sister's, so it's very exciting to have new panniers. They smell, new plastic, yum. Then I have this, which is a very large, bulky sleeping mat. It's the Alp Kit. I can't remember what model it is and I don't want to undo it to have a look. It is, I'll put it around here somewhere. It weighs quite a lot and it's also quite large. It's actually probably a little bit bigger than my sleeping bag itself. I was looking at the Thermarest Uber Light, great name, but also the Sea to Summit one, I can't remember what that's called either, but you can get them that they pack a lot smaller than this, but you know, that's just more money when I have one already. Pretty sure if I remember from last year, my sleeping bag and my sleeping mat, oh yeah, they fit side by side at the bottom of the pannier, which is ideal because these panniers are slightly tapered. So this really makes the most of the room, and they are lovely and squished in there. Ta-da! Now again, I seem to remember from last year that I had one pannier that I never opened during the day and another pannier that I could easily open. So my sleeping stuff went in here and anything else I definitely wouldn't need during the day of cycling. And that always goes on the side of the bike that I don't get off of, so that when I get off my bike and lean it against a wall, the pannier that I can access during the day is always the one closest to me. This sounds a little like I'm overthinking, but that's just what experience has led me to do. So in this pannier, I'm also going to put my down jacket. I can't remember. In fact, I'm 99% sure I didn't take my down jacket with me last time. Do I want to take it? Do I want to take it? I don't know. I'm going to put it in. So another thing I can put in here are my flip-flops, which are useful but not during the day of cycling. Then other things I can put in here are things like plugs, towel, head torch, some clothes, but not very many in this one. But clothes I'm definitely not going to need during the day, like no extra layers or anything like that. And then that one can just be closed, and then I will just ride and not open it until we get to the campsite. The other one then, I normally only pack half to 2/3 full, because that is the one that I'll access easily, so I need to be able to get stuff in and out of there quite easily. But also that is the one that I'll be putting supermarket food in, which is very important, because while I take gas and the Jetboil for said gas, this will only heat water. Theoretically I could make pasta or something like that, but I don't. The only purpose of this is to make coffee, which I know you agree with me. Come on. This is very important. This whole thing is just for coffee. I don't have a pan to go with it or anything like that. Like, you can obviously get pans and fittings for this, but I don't have any. I just use the Jetboil for making coffee with an Aeropress coffee maker, which is just plastic, so it's really resilient. If you drop it, it's not going to break, all that kind of stuff. I'm not cycling with glass. The only hot thing I ever make is coffee. Everything else is cold food. That's all I eat on cycle tours in France. So anything that takes place in the summer where it's really easy just to sit outside and eat, I'll literally just go to the supermarket, buy salad, buy baguette, all of that kind of stuff, because then you don't have to think about cooking. You don't have to take pots and pans and all of this jazz with you. Like, I'm sure you might want to do that if you go for a longer tour, but I just can't be bothered with all of that stuff for a week. This is only a week. French supermarkets are everywhere. They have abundant, delicious food in them, and I just don't really think it's necessary to cook in this kind of short time span. As a result though, we do go to the supermarket pretty much every day, I guess. And so that stuff goes in the top of that pannier, so it doesn't get crushed. Everything else, so the tent, which is this amazing creature, which is this tent review here, is a Sea to Summit. What are you called? Alto TR2. I love this tent. This tent was actually given to me by Sea to Summit in exchange for the review that I just put up there. So I didn't pay for this, but it's absolutely amazing, and I have used it now for several adventures, and it's just been brilliant. It also just hardly weighs anything, and it comes in these modules, so you've got inner tent, outer tent poles, so you can split them up or keep them together. We normally don't split them up, we normally put them in the trailer because they don't weigh that much, but at the same time they do have weight, and so it's better to keep that weight low and give it to someone else that's not me. So it goes in the trailer, although it's really easy to split up. If I want to take one of these, for instance, and put it in the top of one of these panniers, that's super fine. Other things that I'm taking but not carrying personally are things like this fun plastic supermarket plates, which I've had for years. I hate them. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see, but I'll illustrate this. So this is a plate for, I don't know how much it cost. kids large plate 4-pack, Sainsbury's. If you put stuff here, it goes into this groove here. It's convex. It is convex. It's a plate that's convex. In the middle, it rises. Who designed that? Like, tell me who, please, just, who designed that? It's absolutely absurd. I hate them, but I still haven't replaced them. If you've got any tips for like really lightweight camping plates, then let me know, because these have been next to my bin for like 2 months because I want to throw them out, but I can't bring myself to throw out something that's perfectly serviceable. So I'm going to take them to the charity shop, but I haven't yet, and I haven't bought any replacement ones, so I have to take them on this cycle tour, and I am sad about that. But bowls are also terrible. They're from the same package situation. They're terrible because, I can't really illustrate this, but if you put, this is such a weird tangent, I'm so sorry. If you put stuff in this, it will literally just topple over, and this isn't a very good example, but it will honestly just fall over like that, and it will lie down like that, in which case ants and your friendly neighbourhood snails can get into it. It's a nightmare. But that's what I'm taking. So there you go. These don't really weigh anything. These are amazing, actually. These are Alp Kit's titanium cutlery. I don't like the noise they make. Ugh. But they are really brilliant, and they don't weigh very much, so they're really good. We also have, sitting pads. These were, I don't know, 50p or something from Go Outdoors, I think, and they don't weigh anything at all. And they fold up like this, and they're just for sitting on or kneeling on or whatever when you're on sandy, dusty, dirty ground. They are great. Love them. They're very retro. But they can go in the trailer, they can go in one of these, they can be strapped to the top of my rack. They're so easy to carry. Aside from that, I'll be taking things like tools, inner tube, head torches. Have I already said head torches? Some snacks, which I'll mainly buy along the way, but I do have some to start with. Toilet paper, never, ever, ever go cycle touring without toilet paper. You never know. It could be a perfectly serviceable campsite, and yet they don't have toilet paper. I don't know what is going on with that, but always take toilet paper. Just, it's great. Cloth bags for supermarket trips. Plastic bags, because you never know when you're going to need a plastic bag. Wet clothes, things you've washed. All that good stuff can go in there. Toiletries, obviously. I wash my clothes in shampoo because I truly believe that all soap is soap. I'm yet to be proved wrong about this, and washing clothes in shampoo seems to work really well, so that's what I do. And then it also doubles up as shampoo. Another thing that I have is a battery pack, and I find this really, really useful. It weighs a ton, which is really annoying, but it's incredibly useful. So camping, obviously we don't have electricity. We only have electricity for one night during the actual tour, which is the second night, I think, where we're staying in a hiking cabin, which I'm very excited for. But broadly speaking, we don't have electricity, and I'm navigating via my phone and or my watch, depending on how I'm feeling on that day, in which case I'm going to need to charge those things. Not my watch so much, but I'll definitely need to charge my phone because my phone's battery isn't very good. So I use this for that, and that's pretty much it. It's heavy and annoying, but it is really useful. I normally carry it in my handlebar bag, and I highly recommend that everyone has one because you just never know. In France, I charge this overnight in the campsite toilets. So I don't have to leave my phone or my watch or my GoPro or anything like that in the toilets overnight, which I wouldn't feel comfortable doing, but I would feel comfortable leaving this overnight. Normally you can plug it into a socket. They're often near the ceiling, but they are sometimes over mirrors or over lights, and you can just rest it on top there. No one can really see it. It's not getting in anyone's way. If they want to charge something briefly, they can obviously unplug yours and plug theirs in, you know, whatever. I've never had a problem with it. I can almost always find somewhere that I can leave this to charge. A lot of campsites in France and other countries also have common rooms or reading rooms or places where cycle tourers or hikers or just like kids and stuff can go and hang out or eat their dinner, like where the book swap is, things like that. You can often find plugs, and there will always be someone charging a power bank there. So again, that's a really good place to look out for. So I know what you truly want to look at is my handlebar bag. It is so old. It's the same kind of one that I always used to have when I was a child, and I just love them. You can get some really like funky ones these days, and I would like a new one, and one that doesn't weigh 18 kilograms. That's an exaggeration, but still. But I've yet to find the perfect handlebar bag, so I've just stuck with this one. It's from Altura 1000 years ago. It's still got a lovely matte panel in there that I don't use because I navigate with Komoot, who I do work for, so that's a disclaimer there. And then inside I have this strap that I don't know where I got it from. It's like a camera strap or something. It's got a waterproof cover that is absolutely in no way waterproof anymore at all. In fact, it's probably like a sponge these days. But it's just like a box inside, like an actual hard box. It's great, I love it. I once lost my phone in between the lining and spent about 3 hours absolutely panicking. It's great, it just clips straight onto my handlebars with the click fix thing. And then it's got these like side pockets as well. I mean, it's old and heavy, but at the end of the day, it's what I got. It's what I got. So in here I put my cameras, phone, wallet, passport, battery pack, and maybe a snack or 2 or 3 or 5. That's what I normally put in here because that means that anything valuable, basically, I can just unclip this from my bike and take it with me into a shop, and I don't have to worry about leaving valuable stuff on the bike. Because we travel as a pair, normally one person is always with the bikes anyway, because that's just a lot easier than both of us logging our bikes going to the supermarket. We normally just send one person in, and it just means that I can really easily take everything with me and not have to worry about anything. So this is my quad lock, which I haven't actually used with this handlebar bag before, but I'm gonna try and see how that works out. And I can have my phone here and be navigating there. Then also I've got my trusty top tube bag, which has always got a couple of Allens in it. That is really useful. I always take that with me. The last time I went cycle touring, I had 2 bottle cages on because the time before that I didn't, I only had 1. So I had 2 bottle cages on and then took 2 full-size bottles, parked the car near the ferry port, was loading up the bike to go cycle to the ferry, and discovered that, oh, literally cannot get that in. That's what happens when you are 5'4". You have a small bike frame, so that is annoying. But, and then I have this lovely little one here, and that goes in there. As you can see, there's absolutely no room for a frame bag here, so all those bike packers, I guess they're riding larger bikes than I am. So broadly speaking, that's what I'm taking. I'm travelling pretty light. As I said, we don't have any cooking stuff, just coffee making goods. And then I'll just have clothes on top of that and toiletries, stuff like that, which does always seem to add up because toiletries are always a liquid. But I'm hoping this year I can travel pretty light. I think it all hinges on how many jumpers I take and how many bib shorts I take, things like that. I'm just going to take 2 pairs of bib shorts this year, 1 pair of trousers for the evenings, and washed stuff. I'm just going to wash and dry stuff and that will be fine. I've probably forgotten something extremely key that I just can't think of right now, but I'm kind of rushing this because I have loads to do because, as I said, I've left this to the last minute. I'd love to know how you pack your bags, what kind of bags you use. Are you like an inline bike packer bag person? Are you a pannier person? Like, what do you use? I know some of you before have given me interesting tips about like modular packing and stuff like that, which is really cool. I pack my stuff in plastic bags, not to protect it from the weather so much because Orly panniers are very waterproof, more so I can access things really easily. And one of you amazing people gave the tip a while ago to go for a ride with your fully laden bike before you actually finish packing. So pack it all, go for a ride, and then be like, do I need to alter this a bit? So I'm gonna go do that tomorrow morning to make sure that I haven't overburdened myself, or that I can just get to grips with handling the bike after a year of not having such heavy stuff on it. I hope this was interesting, and stay tuned for the actual tour video because I'm so excited about that. I have made another 2, I'll put those in the description. This one's going to be even better, even cooler. I'm really excited about it, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming very soon. Thanks for sticking around with this one. See you later.